Oh man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is? Tuesday. Brewsday, Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's time for Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
Oh, hang on there, Big Nate. I think I should turn your microphone on, shouldn't I? Somebody set up the board, silly. See, this is what happens when I'm gone. You guys mess with stuff. You can't talk. You can't talk yet. Hang on. Oh, jeez. Oh boy, isn't this lovely? There we go. Now you can talk.
I know exactly what happened there, and I'm gonna throw K Dog.
Yeah, but say let's blame Kyle. You don't even need to say it. We'll just go ahead and blame Kyle for it.
I can throw him under the bus on this one. I'm fine with it because every time, and I need to really just get over there and save the profiles in the console.
Oh, we definitely. I don't know why we haven't done that.
But every time after he does the studio production for a Bear tailgate show, now granted, this was all the way last Friday. We don't usually need a mic 2 in here. Everything's messed up, and then I can never remember the perfect settings. And so yeah, I'm blaming Kyle all the way.
Well, we will blame Kyle, although I guess in theory I probably should have looked at the board and made sure that Mike 2 was on there and whatnot. We digress. It is Brews Day
Kyle's
2.
fault.
Let's not start off on a bad foot. I am back in studio. Speaking of Kyle, what did y'all drink, like some ciders or some crap while I was gone? I'm sure that was delicious.
We had some ciders. Kyle is ruthless on his scoring.
Done like ciders.
I mean, I was bringing in ciders like that he kind of requested and like hinted towards, and even then,
Still hating on him?
yeah, that's gonna be a 3.75.
Well,
You requested the peach cider. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you.
See, a 3.75 is not a ruthless score. It is to you because you're like it's 4.75. This beer's okay. Like, I mean, you're very generous with your scores. 3.75 to me is that's all right. That's fairly middle of the road. I'll take that. I'm hoping, knock on wood, that all the beers today are going to be more in the 4+ range because these beers came from my recent trip. Didn't hit a lot of breweries on the trip. It wasn't the main objective, but I was happy to see when we were just outside of Berlin. Yes, we went to Berlin, Maryland.
Didn't even need your passport.
Didn't need it. Didn't know. Did you know that Berlin, Maryland is the coolest little small town in the world or something like, I don't know. Their motto is like the coolest little small town or something, which is fun. It was a pretty fun little thing. But what was really fun was finding out that Burley Oak Brewing Company is out there in Berlin. And not only do they have some great ratings on IPAs, but also sours. So I was like, all right, BB, this is our kind of a brewery. So we did go there, and luckily they did have plenty of stuff in the to-go section, enough to bring for a show. Case in point, all of these beers I held off on. I didn't try them because I was like, all right, well, those are ones I'll get to go. I'll drink the other stuff here. So I just popped this one, which I'm most excited for because the guy at the bar, once I ordered it to go, he said that this is sort of the best beer that they make there. The Citralaxy, I think is how it is pronounced. It's 7.5% by alcohol by volume. This is an IPA. I think it's one of their kind of a staple IPA, if you will. I'm assuming it's Citra hops,
Which
it smells delicious. It looks fantastic.
that label is beautiful. I was looking, so I've got the Eagle
Mhm.
Towers
Mhm.
Nacho Average Double IPA, 7.5%. Citra Pacific Sunrise, your favorite Motica.
Motica.
It's hopped generously, and the labels do something that I feel like not a lot of breweries do enough of. These are kind of transparent, I guess would be the word if you're doing like graphic design. But if you look at the edge of the sticker, there's kind of a border, and this is overlaid on like a transparent sticker.
Oh, yeah.
And my immediate thought was, this is damn good office door fodder.
Okay, well that's very
And yours is cooler than mine. I mean,
that
I got
is
the
a-
Sweet Eagle.
yeah, that is a good eye. I did not notice that. But you're right. It is sort of that
I always
transparent
judge a
nose.
beer by its cover, and then we go from there.
No, that's pretty cool. So, all right. So yes, we did go to Berlin. We were staying just outside of Berlin, and I think it was, I guess, pronounced Whaley, Maryland. And the reason why we were there, we were actually in the RV. We were staying at a Sun Outdoor spot because it was just a hop, skip, and a jump from Ocean's Calling, which was the music festival that we were going up there for. Now, I should be wearing an Ocean's Calling shirt. However, you know how BB is anti me getting
She didn't
shirts.
let you?
No, actually, not only was she going to let me, she was actually offering to buy it because I bought the tickets to the show. So she was like, you know, taking care of drinks and stuff. And she said she would even buy me a shirt. We had it picked out and everything. And then we waited till the end and we go. And the merch table that we were going to hit had already like closed up for the night. And we would have had to walk really far in the hopes that the other one was still open and
And
would have the
had it.
size and everything. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just let it be.
There should be, I don't know, like, you know, Jack White's done this in the past, and there are those like certain scenarios where artists like you can get a recording of your show sometimes, like that night you just gotta wait after the show ends and they
Mhm.
gotta mix it down and press it, but they'll also leave their merch store open and ready after the fact. I feel like festivals 100% need to do that because I can't tell you how many times I've been at Floyd Fest and like had my eye on a shirt, but I was like, let me just make sure everything works out. I don't really want to carry this around. I don't want to go back to camp. And then they always sell out because I think I have a taste for fashion.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the
Hold
same
them
thought.
back.
I did think about that, and I was going to wait till after today because what they should do is, you know, surely there's not everything's going to sell. You would think they'd put it online and be like, hey, did you not get your shirt? Oh, look, now they're on sale or something. So I was kind of hoping for that. But one thing, so they had some cool designs, one that I really liked. But honestly, the shirt that I liked best, and I should have done it, I was looking at the shirts and then I see these other people like not behind the shirt thing holding up shirts. And it looked like a really cool design. And it had like all the names of the bands and everything on the back. And then on the front, it said rock and recycle, Ocean's Calling, whatever. So get this. And this is genius. Every music festival should do this. You get a bag, a recycling bag. You fill it up with aluminum cans. You bring it back. You get a t-shirt. So because of that, there was no trash on the beach or anything because there was people constantly. I mean, they were like, even I still had half a beer in my hand. Somebody was coming and be like, hey, you finished with that can? Like people were like clamoring to get these cans and make sure and clean up the beach and keep everything clean. It
That's
was
brilliant.
so brilliant. And the shirt was sweet. Like, no joke, I like that shirt better than the one I was going to pay $45 for. Plus tax.
Brilliant. And I mean, it also gives you something to do. It keeps you active, and like it kind of gives you. It's like a scavenger hunt to find those cans at that point because everyone else is competing for those same T-shirts.
It's also a nice
I
little
like that.
icebreaker. You can meet people.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, like, it was such a smart idea. I
like that.
Yeah, really, really good. Because I can't think of, I mean, not so much like Floyd Fest or something, but you know, the Rock on the Ranges and Louder Than Life's and all those ones. As soon as you're walking away from the main stage, you're just kicking beer cans left and right. 'Cause
Yep.
that's what people do. You go there, you finish your beer while you're watching the
'Cause you
show.
can't move from the crowd.
Yeah, you're not going to lose your spot. So you throw your beer can down, and then they just accumulate. And by the end of the day, it's gross.
So I always, in scenarios like that, I always crush my cans because it's why I wear cargo shorts to concerts. And then like I have a pocket stuffed with cans. It's like, man, I smell like beer, but
Yeah. So
at least I feel better about it.
I used to do that too. Always crush them, of course, for multiple reasons. But yeah, for the longest time, I would put them in my pocket. But then what I started to do was, if I'm sitting there and I have a beer or two, say I had 2 beers, I crush them, wait till the end of the show. If I'm still standing where I was, a lot of times I'll try and get closer, whatever. So say I crushed and threw down 2 cans, I triple whatever I put at least. So when I'm walking away, I'm going to pick up 6 cans, leaving and dispose of them properly in the recycling vessel.
I like that strategy. I like the mentality behind it.
If only, you know,
But I've also met
a few
a
people
lot
do
of
it.
the human race. So for your 6 cans,
I'm not
to your
licking them.
2,
I'm not, you know,
well, no, but I mean, like, not everyone's gonna
of course not. But even
adopt
if
that.
just,
But
even if
their
just
T-shirt system, that
people will do that. People will do that. I mean, they were.
people would do it for a coupon code, even. Like, you bring all your cans back to recycling, we'll give you 5% off your T-shirt.
That was one worry of mine, was just like what we were talking about. If I did it towards the end, and then next thing you know, they're like, "Oh, we don't have your size," or I can't. What if I can't even find the people?
Yeah.
Because they were just standing like by the
They just
recycling.
scatter
Like,
as soon as
where'd
bands
they
start.
go? So, but
I
I
know we
thought that
picked
that
up all
was
these.
I thought that that was really cool, and really, honestly, just the festival was really cool. So, for those who don't know, this is only the second year Ocean's Calling. The first year got canceled because of a hurricane. It's at Ocean City, Maryland, and it's on the beach, which I was a little hesitant about that. I'm like, I don't know about walking around on my shoes, because I was like, oh, do I wear flip flops? A lot of stuff I was reading, you're not gonna want to be on your feet in flip flops all day. So I did wear
True.
shoes on the beach, which I hate. That did kind of suck. And the stages are very far away, and it's a lot of walking on the beach, so that kind of sucked. But man, it was pretty sweet watching bands on the beach, because now it didn't get super rowdy during Offspring, but if there was a pit for Offspring, I would have happily gotten in it, because if you're falling down,
So much
you're on the
gentler.
beach. It's not going to hurt that bad at all. You're not going to rip your jeans open and start bleeding or anything.
I always, whenever like concert on the beach gets brought up, I think of Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. That's the one where like the gang gets back together and goes down to look, man, I love Scooby-Doo. I can see it in your eyes. And Sugar Ray
got
is
kids.
playing on the beach, and I've always thought, man, like that does not look fun to me.
Well-
There's no part of this like being in the sand. Like you can't get proper footing to throw an elbow. Granted, that was Sugar Ray playing, so you don't need to throw
I feel like
elbows.
I'd like to see Sugar Ray on the beach.
That
But
makes sense. It contextually, it was appropriate.
so, but listen to the lineup, because we only went for the Saturday. Apparently, the Friday was pretty bad because it was raining and there were some delays and whatever, all that crap. But Saturday was gorgeous weather. It was hot. But we saw the Beaches on the beach, and they opened up for the Beach Boys on the beach.
Was Stamos there?
No,
This was not a Stamos date.
not a Stamos date. But it was funny because I was talking with some people about it, and they were like, "Oh, did you see him with John Stamos?" I was like, "I did see him with John Stamos. He was here." But it was also cool because you're a good chunk of the Ocean City boardwalk is in the festival. So you can get away from the heat. You can go into just a normal bar or a normal restaurant or the arcade. And you're also right there at the Jolly Roger. If you're not familiar with that, that's just like all the little carnival rides and stuff included with your wristband. You can ride the rides. We did the Ferris wheel twice, one during the day and one at night when the Killers were doing their closing set. We were up there watching the Killers from the top of the Ferris wheel, man. It was pretty damn cool. And of course the ocean's right there, which is nice.
Speaking of, I mean, at that point, I think you've seen them several times, but one of my all-time favorite bands. We can call them rock, but let's be real here. They've not really put out like a solid banger, but the
Some of the
Killers,
Killers. Well, it was funny.
one of my all-time bucket list bands.
One of the things they said that kind of made me laugh a little bit, where they're like, I can't remember exactly what Brandon said, but it was something along the lines of, "Who here came to see a rock and roll band?" or something like that. I was like, "Oh, really? You're a rock and roll band, are you?" I guess they are, but it's not. Well, I guess in my mind, I think of more of lines of metal. They are rock and roll.
Yeah,
my taste is a bit more harder and harder.
They put on such a good show. I mean, and they've kind of had, I mean, you were at my wedding. There were several killer songs, and then their frontman Brandon Flowers also has his solo deal, which several of those songs made their way onto the wedding playlist. And I've always been a sucker for, the way they tell a story in a song, and they don't half-ass it on stage, which I feel like a lot of like poppier acts do.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that was a little disappointing. So, a little fun little fact: me and BB actually met during the Killers at another festival. So that there's a little special in our heart. So but here's the thing: she really wanted to see the beaches, so we staked out a spot close to the stage, like a half hour, maybe even 45 minutes before they started. And she said this is probably the closest I've ever seen a band before, and that was really cool. So that was her main one, was the beaches. My main show that was stoked for was, of course, The Offspring, one of my all-time favorite bands, and fantastic live. So problem was The Offspring was right before
Yeah,
the
timing
Killers,
was close.
and those stages were very far apart. And I wasn't going to skip out early on The Offspring, although I did like the very last song. I started to kind of walk away to try and, because honestly, I was going to meet BB at the bathroom and then we were going to go to the Killers. But by then, man, you weren't getting anywhere near the stage for the Killers. There were so many people there. It was insane. So that's why we were kind of watching it from afar. And then we're like, well, hey, let's go see the line. Maybe it's not too long. Let's go up on the Ferris wheel and catch it. And I'm glad we did. It was really cool to be up on there and look down and just see everybody and see the show from that far. And
I mean, not only that, I'm assuming it was just you and her in the Ferris wheel. Nice little romantic moment. That's like peak, like Richard Linklater high school movie.
it was
that moment with your sweetie in the Ferris wheel watching the band.
was very sweet.
No, that's
there with my sweetie.
Not many people are going to be able to tell that story.
No, it really was great. And we took full advantage of the stuffed pretzels that they had there. I am a sucker for a pretzel. And of course, if you stuff it full of crab meat and or Philly cheesesteak and or Nutella, yes, I'm going to have to try every single one of those, which I did. And they were good. I ate them along with boardwalk fries and lots of copious drinks.
Well, you bring that up. Now I'm thinking I've missed an obvious point. I love crab dip. I love buffalo chicken dip. I've never dipped a soft pretzel in either of those.
What? Yeah,
I've always gone with mustard.
Ew. No.
Dijon mustard, man.
I don't do mustard with pretzels. I don't really like mustard that much, but most of the time when I get crab dip, if they have, it usually comes with like tortillas or
cheese
something.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I like it when it comes with like a more of a bread or a pita. But dude, if you see them, sometimes they'll have it. It'll be a crab dip with like a pretzel with pretzel bites or pretzel. Oh, dude, pretzels and crab dip, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
There's definite gap. The most exciting thing that happened to me while you were gone, I discovered that Chef Ramsay, my personal hero, has started selling a line of freezer appetizers, one of which is beef Wellington bites.
Oh, shut up. Really?
I was like, it's in the freezer section. It's at the big box grocery store near us. I thought if he was going to partner with them, it was going to be good. And it was. We got those and the crab cake bites. They're like crab cake nuggets. I can confirm the crab cakes are made with real crab. I know because I picked a piece of shell out of my teeth.
Nice. What kind of coating? Like you said, they're bites. Is it like
it's puff pastry?
Oh shoot! All right, I'm gonna have to look into this.
Crab cake bites are good. There's a little too much bread.
You throwing that in the oven?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See,
you could probably do it in the air fryer.
I was gonna say that sounds like it was made for the air fryer.
But the beef Wellington bites,
yeah,
I would recommend to anyone. They're not horribly costly, but you only get like 5, so you're paying like.
So my mother-in-law makes an
$1
amazing beef Wellington. It's just sort of, and it's the treat. It's the best thing ever. It's made for special occasions.
I love beef Wellington.
But the running joke is anytime BB asks me what I want for dinner, I always say beef Wellington because, well, that's what I would, in a perfect world, that's what I would be eating for every dinner because it's phenomenal. But now we can actually maybe have it when I say that.
Snack. It's an appetizer.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, you know what else is phenomenal is this Citralaxy I'm going to go with. Citralaxy. So for those, again, this brewery, it was not on my radar. I hadn't heard of it. Burley Oak Brewing Company. But as soon as I looked it up on Untappd and I started to see the scores, I got very excited. And this beer is probably a perfect example. And like he said, this is sort of maybe one of their go-tos, mainstays. And I'm so glad that I walked away with this one. This thing is delicious. It's got some just beautiful aroma to it. Unfortunately, I've pretty much all but drank it, but the lacing's great. The color's great. This is everything that's awesome about a fantastic IPA. This probably is a 5. I'm going to throw that out there and kick it down.
So I'm not going to give this a 5,
Okay.
but it's pretty damn delicious. It's incredibly smooth. The hoppiness gives it just enough of a like a little tongue feel to it. It's West Coast style versus East Coast style.
Oh, there you go.
So it's kind of got that, yeah, little. I feel like I don't know. Is it more malty? Would you say is the definition of the West Coast? Because like I feel like East Coast you get way more of the cut of the hops. Like it lingers.
I think the West, to me, the West is more
Juicy.
the New England is juicy. The West is more of a bitter kind of hops.
Yes. Okay. Well, then,
Generally.
yeah, it's tasty. I think you're going to enjoy it, except for maybe the Motica. 4.5.
Does it say, is it a double IPA or is it double hopped?
It's a double IPA. It's
Okay.
generously hopped.
Generously hopped. Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. It's some good beers. I got a feeling you might like the next one better. You might
We'll
like
find
the next
out.
one better. That's a cue for us to, I guess we should probably play some Killers since we were talking about it. Or we could play some Offspring. Or some Beach Boys. I mean, who else did we see? Young the Giant played there. That was another big one for us. That's a band that we really like.
If I had my druthers, I would
All American
go-
Rejects. Got to
who just put out a cover of
Flagpole Sitter.
yeah.
They played Flagpole Sitter, and of course everybody's singing along. I'm like, this isn't their song. This is the one song that people know.
It's such a good cover though.
It was pretty spot on. I didn't realize that they released it as
If
a
you're
cover.
going to like do something and not make it your own at all, they did that.
Well, they did. It sounded just right. And everybody was probably, I was saying, 'cause, you go to a festival, a lot of people don't know a lot of the bands. And I'm thinking, how many of these people out here think that this is their song? And they're like, oh, these guys. Yeah, I know this song.
See, I think the opposite. If you're working a festival and people don't know your name, cover's a good way to get them to figure it out.
Yeah, I suppose so. All right. Well, we'll play a song and then we'll come back. We're going to drink some more from Burley Oak out of Berlin. It is Brewsday Tuesday right here on 105.3 The Bear. Stick around.